do, 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 do. I get up in the evening and I ain't got nothing to say. I come home in the morning, I go to bed feeling the same way. I ain't nothing but tired, man, I'm just tired and bored with myself. Hey there, baby, I could use just a little help. You can't start a fire, can't start a fire without a spark. This gun's for hire, even if we're just dancing in the dark. Messages keep getting clearer, radio's on, I'm moving around the place. I check my look in the mirror, I wanna change my clothes, my hair, my face. Man, I ain't going nowhere, I'm just stuck in a dump like this. There's something happening somewhere, and I know just where it is. You can't start a fire, can't start a fire without a spark. This gun's for hire, even if we're just dancing in the dark. You sit around getting older, there's a joke somewhere and it's on me. I'll shake this world from my shoulders. Come on, baby, there's laughs on me. Stay on the streets of this town, they be carving you up all night. They say you gotta stay hungry. Hey, baby, I'm just about starving tonight, dying for some action. I'm sick of sitting around here trying to write this book. I need some reaction. Come on, give me just one look. You can't start a fire, can't start a fire without a spark. This gun's for hire, even if we're just dancing in the dark. You sit around getting older, there's a joke somewhere and it's on me. I'll shake this world from my shoulders. Come on, baby, there's laughs on me. Stay on the streets of this town, they be carving you up alright. They say you gotta stay hungry. Hey, baby, I'm just about starving tonight, dying for some action. I'm sick of sitting around here trying to write this book. I need some reaction. Come on, give me just one look. You can't start a fire, you can't start a fire without a spark. This gun's for hire, even if we're just dancing in the dark. Even if we're just dancing in the dark. Even if we're just dancing in the dark. Hello everybody, wonderful to see you all, absolutely fantastic. And first of all, apologies for not being here yesterday night, but as you all know, I had a gig, so I kind of had to do it. Of course, I wanted to do it, but I really do not like letting people down. Least of all, my loyal follow audience, my YouTube Patreon kind of audience, do not like letting you guys down. So I was very, very encouraged by all the supportive messages that I had from you. You're all such kind, lovely, wonderful people, and I'm blessed to have you kind of tuning in, supporting me, and everything else. So it's absolutely wonderful to see you all. So let me just start out by saying a few hellos to everybody. We've got a load of people here tonight. We've got Julie and Leo and Carl Brolin. Andrew Chilvers is with us tonight. And we've got R. Thomas. Hello, R. Thomas. I don't know that I've seen you before. We've got Jeff. Hey, Jeff. Nice to see you, mate. And we got Jimmy Charlton. Jimmy, great to see you. Endless Nameless. Is there anybody else I haven't mentioned here? Now's your opportunity to say, before I get started, David Stanley. And we've got Pat. Hello, Pat. Great to see you. We've got Maxter. I'd just like to say a great big thanks to David Stanley and Terry Cook. You made a donation earlier on towards the show and things. Much appreciated, guys. Really do appreciate that. We got Jez as well. I don't think I've come across Jez. And Leopold, welcome on board. And Brad. So we've got a few new faces tonight as well, which is absolutely wonderful. It's always great to see a few new faces, as well as all the regulars, of course. I do love to see you all. So thank you for joining me tonight. I know that for some of you it might not have been the most convenient night of the week to have the show. But I think that the general consensus was that we do it tonight rather than leaving it another week. And you know, I'm really touched by how much you seem to be enjoying the Joe Show and things like that, because I suppose it surprises me. You know, I had quite a lot of messages saying, oh, please make it on Saturday. You know, I don't want it to be 3 weeks before, you know, there's a show and things like that. So it obviously does mean quite a bit to you, as it does to me. So I really do appreciate that. You know, out of all the things I do, I'm going to come back to this a little bit later on, but out of all the things that I do, helping you guys out with music and teaching you how to play things and all that kind of stuff is way up there on the type of things that I do. I'm going to come back to that a little bit later on. So we've got Mick Starr as well, and Dipro's here with us again tonight, and we've got Felix Heinzenberg. Hello, Sweden. John J. Hello, John. I haven't missed you out, don't worry. So I'm going to play you another song right before we get started here. Just having a little bit of a think what to play for you tonight, because a lot of what we've done so far, I'll tell you what I'll do. I haven't done in a little while, and I do like to do a little bit of finger picking. Paul O'Neill, great to see you, Paul. I don't think I gave you a shout out. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbird flies, blackbird flies into the night of a dark black night. Blackbird flies, blackbird flies into the night of a dark black night. Blackbirds singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life you were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. A little bit of Blackbird for you there, and that was a song that Paul wrote for Martin Luther King, no less. Some of these little facts can be quite interesting. Lovely little piece to learn. I've obviously done a lesson on that one. And it's one of the things that once people start to be able to use their fingers a little bit, I tend to teach them because it's a well-known song. It's not terribly difficult, just takes a little bit of practice like most things. You can certainly do that, you know, so don't be put off and think, oh, that sounds very difficult. You'd be surprised once you break it down. Like I say, it is one of those kind of first, second tunes that I teach to people. You might think, whoa, that's a bit tricky for a first finger picking number. When you actually break down the parts, it's not so bad, and it's a lovely, lovely tune, I think, personally. And I played that last night, and a lot of people were asking me how the gig went and things like that, and it was actually really, really good. I was a little bit nervous about it because I don't really want to throw myself into the kind of lion's den or whatever with all this COVID around the place and stuff. So I made sure that we were going to be a little bit secluded because I just didn't know whether or not there were going to be loads of people out on the booze just, you know, knocking them back, kind of rowdy kind of audience, or whether it would be much more of a kind of laid back kind of gig. I've played there before many a time, but I just didn't really know what to expect. Anyway, when we turned up, it was actually really good. They'd roped us off a little bit in this little area, and everybody around us was so up for it. They were just singing to pretty much everything we did, and it went really, really well. I couldn't help but think whilst I was playing there, oh, all my patrons and kind of YouTube and all that lot would be kind of missing the show tonight and things like that. But I did throw out a few dedications for you last night, folks, and I did play that one for Daniela as well. Okay, so it was a good gig. And so another thing that I wanted to touch on, and that is that if you ever get the chance to play in front of people, always grasp it and go for it. It's really, really important. Now, if you're kind of in a situation where you have family members about and you just tend to tuck yourself away somewhere where nobody can hear you, it's a great idea to just start trying to play in front of people. I mean, it's all very well me saying this. You may not have any aspirations to play in front of people. And I think like when I started out, I was more interested in just pleasing myself and things like that rather than just playing for people as such. I just wanted to accomplish certain things on the guitar and stuff like that. But it wasn't too long before I started doing it. And it's a very, very rewarding thing. Because when you think about it, we put so much time into practice and things like that. So it really is important to try and showcase what you've been doing. You know, it's lovely to get a bit of feedback when you've spent many, many hours working away at things. It's a great idea to try and share them. And you know, with all this COVID thing happening at the moment, I think it's a great opportunity to set yourself some goals. You know, it could just be that by the time it's all over, you're in a position to, say, go out and do an open mic night maybe, or something like that. Maybe that's too much of a step for some of you and you're thinking, no, I'm not ready for that. But you can work towards that. Because when you think about it, when you do an open mic night, it's only one or two numbers. So, you know, it's nothing that you can't do. I'm sure you can do these things. A lot of the time, we say to ourselves, nah, really, I don't want to do that. But really what it is we don't feel secure about doing it. I think that's the difference, you know. We kind of convince ourselves that we don't want to do something when in reality, it's just that confidence is lacking. And the thing is that until you've got that first one behind you, it's always going to be something that you might be a little bit fearful about. And so the payoff, in a sense, is if you throw yourself in at the deep end, and you know what's the worst that can go wrong? So you make maybe a few mistakes or something like that. Well, that's okay. You know, we all do make mistakes. We're all human. But the thing is that once you've done it and you come off stage or whatever, there's such a tremendous feeling of satisfaction, even if it hasn't gone quite according to plan. So, as well as teaching you how to play things, I want to kind of teach you how to take that step. Okay, that's another thing that I'm really looking to help you with. So, if you feel that there's any ways in which I could help you with that, I want to see some comments down below this video tomorrow once it's uploaded. Okay, because it's something that interests me a lot. I want to try and help you take those steps that will bring you a great deal of satisfaction. Very, very important to me. Okay, so have we got any more people turning up here? We've got Paul Magson. Now, Paul, interesting, I should spot you there, Paul, because Paul had a question for me. In fact, I had quite a few questions. So let me just touch on Paul's question, which was I nervous or elated about last night's gig? Well, if I'm being 100% honest, and I really don't mean to be cocky, and I know a lot of people say if you haven't got nerves, then, you know, there's something wrong. I didn't especially feel nervous, if I'm being honest. I don't really get a lot of nerves because a lot of the gigs that I do are very informal. So people are just sitting around having a bite to eat. Some people will be tuned into what we're doing. But generally speaking, it's not like 200 people all sat in an auditorium paid to come and see you and watch you. That creates a whole lot more nerves for me. So in answer to your question, Paul, I was probably, well, using your words, you know, nervous or elated. I'd be erring on the side of being elated. Okay, so I was just pleased about having a gig because obviously it's been a very, very difficult time for me these last 10 months. Just haven't played at all. And without your help, it would have been even more of a struggle. So it's been a long time coming. I have actually been asked to do some gigs over the Christmas period, especially Christmas Eve. A few people have asked me to do, but I'm not going to take that on board because I think people are, the places I've been asked to play essentially are very busy places where there's going to be loads of young lads out on the lash partying and stuff like that. Don't really want to be sat in the middle of all that lot. So I've kind of said I'm not really going to be doing anything until the new year, but a lot of people seem to be interested, and let's hope that things go in the right direction. Now, another thing that Paul asked me was, how do online gigs compare to live gigs? And, you know, that's a very interesting question because you'd be forgiven for thinking that doing a gig via YouTube or something like that is not a nervous experience in any way. But actually, I found sometimes when you're playing on YouTube or one of these type of things, I don't really find the Joe Show a nervous thing or anything like that because I know you all and we're all on the same page and stuff like that, and we all know that we're all human, and generally it's a very laid back thing. But it's surprising actually how much once you hit that button, you know, go live, how you feel, right, I'm actually live, there are actually people watching me, and no matter how much you kind of convince yourself, just pretend you're playing in the lounge to yourself and stuff, it doesn't seem to work. So how do they compare to live gigs? It depends on the live gig. It's very difficult to answer very accurately, Paul, to be honest, because there's lots of different gigs. I've done gigs where a lot of people have just come to see me play, and they tend to be the more nervy ones. The informal ones, no problem. But what I would say is that try it yourself. See if you can, you know, we've got the Facebook group now, and Jeff has done a few gigs. He's done a great job there. I've caught a couple of them. I haven't managed to catch them all. But, you know, if you sign up over on the Facebook group page, people post their videos, and it's really, really important that you do that, because if you're not actually playing for people, then that's a great opportunity, because a lot of people on the group will watch you, and not only watch you but give you some feedback. And you know, generally speaking, that feedback is always so encouraging and so positive. So it's well worth trying to do something like that. And then if you feel happy with what you've done over on that Facebook group page, then you can, you know, tell the folks over there that you're thinking of doing a little half-hour gig on YouTube or something like that. You've got absolutely nothing to lose. Nobody within my group of people is going to give you a hard time. You know, I think you're going to find it, generally speaking, a very, very supportive type of thing. Okay. So I think it's time I played you another tune now. I know that, oh my word, Tim, that is extremely generous of you. Look at that, a $25 donation. Tim, I'm extremely grateful to you. What can I say? Don't think I've ever had anything like that happen before on here. So thank you very much, Tim. I hope that you're enjoying the lessons. And do drop me a line. I like to know how you're all getting on with your guitars and your guitar playing and things like that. Okay, so do communicate with me, because when I know the type of things that you like, it has a big influence on the type of lessons that I create. Okay, so bear that in mind. Always communicate with me. That's a little bit out of tune. I better try that again. Now this one, I've been thinking about doing this one for you for quite some time. Now this is certainly not for the beginners. Now I know that there are many people out there who are patrons and on YouTube who are past that beginner stage. But this is advanced really. And I know some of you are, consider yourselves to be kind of advanced players and things like that. I will do an introduction to this video. It's going to be a lesson, but it's going to be a lesson which is broken down into many, many parts, okay? To give you a chance with this. I think it's a wonderful piece. Just whether or not I'll do it justice, I'm not entirely sure. My hands are freezing tonight, but I'll give it a shot. It goes like this. Mississippi Blues by Willie Brown. It doesn't get more bluesy than that, does it? Mississippi Blues by Willie Brown. So that's a lovely, lovely piece. I'm not going to beat around the bush with you though, folks. It's not the easiest thing to play. But where there's a will, there's a way. So there's always, you know, I had this kind of disease when I was learning guitar, that I'd hear these things which were just way out of my league. But nevertheless, I always tried to have a go at them and things like that. And it's one of those things, it's difficult to say how beneficial it is. You know, if you're a beginner and you try and play that, you're really wasting your time. I don't like to say that so much, but it's just going to frustrate you. It's just going to be, you know, it's punching above your weight in a sense, okay? But if you're an intermediate player, then you can break it down. Because as I say, this is going to be a lesson in several parts. I'll just teach you each little part. Because sometimes it's good to have a long-term project. And that's why I've done this. So you can just work away and just chip away at it and do a little bit at a time with it, okay? So that's what we're going to be looking at some stage very, very soon. Now, I did wonder how some of you are getting along with your advanced shuffle. Is there anybody out there who's been working on the you know, advanced shuffle? Yeah, Derek, I'll come back to that in a minute about electric guitar lessons. What was that? I'm missing some of the comments here. Would love to learn it, Dipro. Yeah, sure. Well, you'll be able to. That's going to be a kind of Patreon lesson, right? So that's a bit of... I do quite a lot of exclusive material over on Patreon, as a lot of the folks here will tell you. I think it's safe to say about 90% of the people who watch the show are Patreon, signed up over at Patreon. And there's a lot of exclusive material over there. So I just wondered how you were getting on with your advanced shuffle. Is anybody kind of going to tell me about that? You know, this one? Is anybody having a go with that one? You've been working on it, yeah? It looks like I need to work on it myself, doesn't it? It's that little lick, isn't it? Yeah, it's a lovely, lovely little thing that. Hey, Katie, good to see you. You're finding that shuffle tricky, getting it smooth. You keep going with it, Katie. That's the mentality. You'll get there. You'll definitely, definitely get there. It's the pride and joy. Now, whilst we're on the subject, I wanted to tell you something else about that. I'm just going to slow it down a second. We got that shuffle, and I think that you kind of get the general idea of what's going on there, all right? Let me just play it slowly, all right? So we've got this. So this is what you should be doing when you're starting out. Nice and slow. And then you... Well, you know that little end bit of that lick where it goes? Sorry. That little bit. Well, what you can do is you can play like the full blues, right? Essentially what I'm trying to say here is that you can use that end part of that lick as like a turnaround. So let me show you what I mean. If you're playing this, yeah, so you can play that B7, A, and E. So you can use the second part. That's all I was trying to illustrate, to kind of carry on with the blues and just slip it in there as well. Okay, so this is definitely worth learning if you like the bluesy thing. And Katie, it's more than normal for this to take a fair old time, okay? Because if you've just been used, I don't know how many of you have kind of done that advanced shuffle, but essentially the shuffles that are typical are more the basic kind of shuffles, you know? This kind of thing. Relatively straightforward stuff. Whereas this one's a whole lot different because you're trying to put those chords in all the time. Alright, so just take your time with it and you will get there, I promise you. But don't be kind of surprised if it's taking your time. You've got to realise that some things take a long time. So you know this Mississippi blues? Well, I started out on that probably about 3 weeks ago, just playing a little bit each day, because I used to play it years ago and it completely forgotten all about it. And you know, I played a little bit on a daily basis, but it, you know, for a couple of weeks before I was happy with it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I was playing it round the clock or anything like that, but I certainly put a lot into it to kind of play it. So I think sometimes when you're playing guitar, depending upon the level that you're at, you don't know how long things should take. But there really is no rule, because we all learn at such different speeds, yeah? Being using fingers, no good with a pick, Katie. Okay, so that does make it very, very difficult. So you're kind of trying to go. One tip for you, Katie, what I would like to say to you, Katie, one tip is try and put your fingers like that, like you are holding a plectrum. Yeah, you can probably see that there. That's what I do, because you know, your only other option is to play it like this. It's kind of very, very difficult. Whereas if you do this thing that I'm telling you about, and you go. Almost, it's almost like you have got a plectrum, right? Not quite the same thing, but you're going to really, really struggle to play that with just your thumb going. It's going to be very, very hard indeed. And it's never too late, by the way, Katie, to just pick one of these things up. You might say you're no good with it and everything else, but I'm actually convinced that you could certainly teach yourself to use one effectively. Right, maybe that's something I need to look at. Hey, Fedexo, I haven't seen you in a while, and Nyan, I haven't seen you before, so it's nice to kind of see a few faces, as I've said. So, that is what I was going to talk about on the old advanced shuffle, just to do that. Now, we've got the play along tonight, don't forget. I hope you've all got your guitars handy, and tuned up, and in tune, and your pen and paper, and whatever little bits and pieces that you need. Okay, so what I'm thinking is, are we ready for a play along now, or is it a little bit too early, or would you like to start one now? Let me see what what you come back to me with. Okay, Paul's ready. Paul's always ready. Good to hear that, Paul. Jeff, are we ready? Are we ready for a play along? Tim Carr, now Joe. Hey Tim, I hope you're ready for this play along. Derek M. Yeah, Derek, acrylic nails, no bad thing at all. Kind of a lot of classical guitarists have false nails put on and things like that. Terry Cook's ready. Dip Rose ready to roll. Okay, that's good. Julie's with us tonight, and James. And Sinategen. Oh, wow, this is cool. This is cool. All right, well, how about we do Norwegian Wood first. Now I should just add that we have, for those of you who are new to the show, we have a vote every fortnight on what we're going to have as a play along where we all play together right across the world. We've got people from every corner of the globe here on the Joe Show, and so we have a vote on what we're going to do for a play along that everybody can join in with, and we have lots of different suggestions. We have blues, we have kind of 60s, 70s, we have a whole load of stuff, and everybody's ready. Okay, so anytime we're ready with a little bit of Norwegian Wood. Yeah, that's good to hear, folks. All right then, so we know the drill. You've been given plenty of advance warnings. I want to hear you. Oh, Derek, that's great. If it's the first song you learn, well, that's good. I'm going to be listening out for you in particular. I Am Norwegian is the song made by Waylon Jennings. No, it's the Beatles. It's the Beatles song. Hey, Bo, good to see you, Bo Jiveman. Only 10 out of 35. Okay, here we go. Let's get started with a little bit of Norwegian Wood. All right, goes like this. Ready? Take your time. You make any mistakes, don't worry about it. All right, we just carry on. This is where we can all feel relaxed on the Joe Show. No pressure. All right, so let's go. All right, here we go. I once had a girl, or should I say, she once had me. She showed me her room, isn't it good? Norwegian Wood. She asked me to stay and she told me to sit anywhere. So I looked around and I noticed there wasn't a chair. I sat on a rug, biding my time, drinking her wine. We talked until 2, and then she said, it's time for bed. She told me she worked in the morning and started to laugh. You sounded fantastic. I told her I didn't and crawled off to sleep in the bath. And when I awoke, I was alone. This bird had flown. So I lit a fire. Isn't it good? Norwegian Wood. Instrumental. Excellent. Let's go into a chorus. She told me she worked in the morning and started to laugh. Well done there, folks. I told her I didn't and crawled up to sleep in the bath. And when I awoke, I was alone, this bird had flown. So I lit a fire, isn't it good? Norwegian Wood. Alright, all together. Brilliant, one more time. Bravo, 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 bravo. I love it, folks. Oh, that is absolutely brilliant. Well done, everybody. It was lovely to hear you there, all cracking on, and I kind of didn't play a typical arrangement there, and yet you all adapted, okay? So this is what it's about. When we're in a live situation, we suddenly think, oh, it shouldn't do this or it shouldn't do that, but we get on with it and we try and find our way again. And it sounds like you all did that perfectly that time. Well done, you lot. All right, another round of applause. I was absolutely impressed with that. Really, really lovely. Okay, so I'm going to play you a little tune now. It's a very simple tune. But it's a tune that I really, really like. And it goes like this. I don't wanna be the kind of hesitate, be too shy, wait too late. I don't care what they say other lovers do, I just wanna dance with you. I got a feeling that you have a heart like mine, so let it grow, let it shine. If we have a chance to make one heart or two, then I just wanna dance with you. I wanna dance with you, twirl you all around the floor. That's what they invented dancing for. I just wanna dance with you. I wanna dance with you, hold you in my arms once more. That's what they invented dancing for. I just wanna dance with you. I caught you looking at me when I looked at you. Yes, I did. Ain't that true? You won't be embarrassed by the things I do, 'cause I just wanna dance with you. Oh, the boys are playing softly and the girls are too. So am I, and so are you. If this was a movie, we'd be right on cue. And I just wanna dance with you. I wanna dance with you, twirl you all around the floor. That's what they invented dancing for. I just wanna dance with you. I wanna dance with you, hold you in my arms once more. That's what they invented dancing for. I just wanna dance with you. I just wanna dance with you. I just wanna dance with you. It's a little song which I really do like that. Very, very simple. It's by John Prine. He's done lots of great songs and we've covered some of his songs already. A lot of people like The Summer's End. Paul's done a lovely version over on Facebook for anybody who'd like to check that out. Paul Hilliker. Well done, Paul. Lovely version of the song. And there's lots of great things happening over on the Facebook page. And I think it'd really, if you haven't already signed up over there, I think it's well worth that you do that, because we have all kinds of play-alongs and projects and separate little things going on over there. And as I say, it's a great opportunity for you to get some feedback on where you're at with your guitar playing. I generally will always pop over there and try and give a little bit of feedback to everybody who's made the effort of posting a video. It takes a lot of guts to do that. And so, yeah, if you haven't already signed up there, definitely give that a go. Okay, Marek, do you want to jam, Mr. Joe? I am jamming. I like Mr. Joe. Sin, hello, bonsoir, Cynthia. So, time I got rid of that chewing gum. Now, I did want to talk to you about a few things. Now, let me just have a little look through my notes. We've got a lot of ground to cover and time yet again is racing away. Okay, so where are we? Yeah, a lot of people, well, I say a lot of people, a few people have asked me what type of things I enjoy most of all out of all the kind of musical things that I'm involved in. And of course, I enjoy most aspects of kind of pretty much everything that I do. Just in terms of, how they're all rated, as it were. Like I've already said to you, playing out live is a great thing to do, and I enjoy that, even having been doing it for the last 20 years, I really, really still enjoy going out and playing live. It's a lovely thing to do. And of course, you get paid, for doing something that you love. So what could be better than that? I would certainly urge all of you to try and have a goal in mind for playing in front of people. It doesn't have to be, like I do. It can just be doing little barbecues in the summer with your family and things like that, and just involving things. Because, what got me into music, or should I say, one of the things that left a very deep impression with me growing up, was my dad playing guitar, and him and my mum coming back from a night out and getting the guitar out, getting the drinks flowing, getting the party atmosphere, everybody having a sing along, had a profound effect on me as a young child, and stayed with me. And I can remember being stood by my dad as a very small child and thinking, I want to do this when I'm a grown up. And so it's very important, if you have this opportunity to play for young people. You may have grandchildren, children, to subject children to music is a very, very positive thing. It's great for mental health. It's great for so many things. So if you ever get the opportunity, that's something. I'm never going to stop banging that drum, because I think it's very important. So that's something which is dear to me. Playing out live is very, very important to me. Now, I also write my own material and record lots of things and things like that. So I'm very much into songwriting as well. And since I started doing all this video thing on YouTube and stuff like that, it's been 7 years. I think it's getting on for 7 years now. But I have to say that doing all this online music on YouTube and on Patreon has been an absolute highlight of my musical career, if you like to put it that way, because it's extremely rewarding for me. Some of the messages I've had so many, I can't even begin to go into the amount of thousands of messages about people who have been battling cancer and have found it to be extremely therapeutic. People who have been very alone and depressed, who have found it has given them it's so rewarding. I just cannot fully explain how much it means to me. And so that it's very, very high up there with everything that I do, trying to help people with music. And I mean, even just very, very recently over on the Facebook group page, I think it might have been Sean, posted a video of himself and said, "Thanks, Joe." And it was a song that he had learned from me. And it's very touching to know that I've helped people with their playing. And I hope that that's something I can continue on with for many, many years, to help you get where you want to get with the guitar. But let's not forget that it's the journey which is important, not the destination. If you get too wrapped up in the destination, you're going to forever be saying to yourself, when am I going to be able to play this? Or when am I going to be able to play that? Just be in the moment if you possibly can, and enjoy it for what it is, mistakes and all. It really doesn't matter. The last thing you want to be doing is getting cross with yourself or getting frustrated with yourself. Have a laugh about it. You make a few mistakes. It's what happens when we're kind of learning stuff, yeah? So, and it's another thing is that I get quite a lot of mail from elderly people who have, people say of 70, 75, who have written to me and said, "Oh, am I a bit too old to be thinking of playing guitar?" You're never too old to pick up an instrument of any description, and it's going to bring you some pleasure in the short term, because you can do things relatively quickly if you put your mind to it. And if you're retired, then you have that time that you can indulge your hobbies and things like that. And you'd be surprised how very quickly you can start putting a smile on your own face. So never think that you're too old to do anything. You're really not. And conversely, youngsters as well. The sooner you can get started, the better. So that's all good. So how are we all doing out there? Anyway, I've been gabbing away here for ages, and I always like to. So Katie started in her 40s. She's saying, Yaps 72. James, where James started at 40 and he's now 48 and he's loving it. Carl is 64. It's great to know how old you all are, guys, so I can, get a feel for those type of things. Endless is going to be 36. And Derek learned from singing the blues from me. Wow, not from me, surely, Derek. Not another one. Um, and Julie started in her 50s on the banjo. Julie's great on the old banjo. If you ever want to hear Blackberry Blossom, then Julie's the girl. As well as many other things, I might add. So, and Jeff started when he was 64. Jeff, I'm really surprised by that, Jeff. Terry Cook is 73. David Stanley is 69. Scott is 62. Andrew has started when he's 44. He's my nephew and he's doing fantastically well. He likes all this kind of stuff, you know. Likes all that kind of stuff. So James in his 40s, Raphael since he was 15, learning every day. Ken Tyrrell, hey Ken, 74 and still going. Wow, Ken's fabulous guitarist. Again, if you want to check out his videos, they're all over there. Leo's keeping quiet, isn't he, Katie? Where are you, Leo? Come on, we want to know. 21, 25? And how about Pat? Pat is a wonderful singer. We often have a little bit of a sing-song when I go home. And we usually do a little bit of Hank Williams, if I'm not mistaken, Pat, don't we? Derek's 67. And Gary Curtis is 45. And Dipro started when he was 15 and he's now 40. Wow, you guys, I'm sure, are going to be good. And Simro, 16 and still at it at 55. This is my 11th year of playing for Julie. Leo is under 60. Rich is 69. Okay, so we're all youngsters here, aren't we, folks, yeah? And Gary Curtis started when he was 23. Old is gold. I like that one, Andrew. That's quality saying. Yes, more country, Joe. More country. Oh, I better do one for Pat. She's not going to be happy unless I do her a little bit of Bob Dylan or something like that. She wants a little country one. Sorry, let's see what I've got in my magic book. Let's try a little bit of Bob Dylan then. Sing along, everybody. I need to hear your wonderful voices. It wouldn't be the same. Joe Show wouldn't be anything without you folks. Alright, so let me hear you singing. Close your eyes, close the door. You don't have to worry anymore. Hope you're singing, Pat. I'll be yours, baby, tonight. Shut the light, shut the shade. You don't have to be afraid. I'll be yours, baby, tonight. Alright, we ready for the middle eight now? Well, that mockingbird is gonna sail away. We're gonna forget it. The big fat moon is gonna shine like a spoon, but we're gonna let it. You won't regret it. Keep your shoes on. Do not fear. Let's pick it up a little bit. Bring that bottle over here. The Prosecco, Jewel. I'll be yours, baby, tonight. One more middle eight, yeah. Well, that mockingbird is gonna sail away. We're gonna forget it. The big fat moon is gonna shine like a spoon, but we're gonna let it. You won't regret it. Kick your shoes off. Do not fear. Bring that bottle over here. Pour me a large one. I'll be yours, baby, tonight. I'll be yours, baby, tonight. That was for you, Pat. Woo, 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 woo. I'm on the hard stuff tonight, folks. Mineral water. Well, folks, we are coming to the end. This hour goes incredibly quickly. Far too quickly. And now I know we've got a few youngsters tuning in as well, you know, 40s and stuff like that and below. I'll start chucking a little bit of a more modern number in for some of you folks, so you got a little bit something not so old. We're all fairly kind of mature on the Joe Show, but we're welcome to have anybody here. Okay, so one thing, chaps, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to mention to you, I've touched on it before, I'm just going to make this one brief. Try and record yourself, okay? Those of you who are kind of been playing for a year or two, stuff like that. In fact, there really isn't any limit on how long you've been playing and stuff like that. But try and record yourself, because it's a great way to track your progress. If, for example, you're just learning a song and you have a mobile phone, these smartphones are incredible things now. You don't need any fancy equipment. In fact, it would be overkill. So all you really need is a mobile phone, and I'm guessing that most of you have got one of those. And so the idea being that you just hit that record button when you're going to have a bash at something you're learning, a song or something like that. Record it, and then a week or two down the road, have a listen to it. And then play the song that you've learned and record that, and then you can compare. It's very important to get some auditory kind of feedback on what you're doing. Else it just seems like you're kind of treading in mud sometimes and you're not really going forward, or should I say it can be difficult to ascertain whether or not you're moving forward. So having these kind of audio reminders of where we have been and where we now are can be a very useful thing. Out of all the things I say to my students who I teach face to face, I always say to them, record. In fact, I kind of make them. I'm a little bit of a bully because I want to hear how they're progressing and things like that. They're paying me at the end of the day, and I want them to see some payback for what they're investing in themselves. So that's a very simple and cheap way of, you know, operating and just seeing how you're coming along and things like that. And there are many things, I've touched on this before. I think some of you are quite interested in the whole behind the scenes of what I do and all the different techniques I use for recording and things like that. I haven't forgotten about any of that stuff, folks. I'm going to be bringing you some videos along those lines if you still have some interest in that regard. So another thing as well as recording yourselves is to try and have some goals. Now, whilst I say enjoy the journey, which is really important, yeah, it's also important to have some goals, because if you say to yourself, right, in a month's time, I'd like to have learned this song. First and foremost, there has to be a realistic goal. But given that it is a realistic goal and you have some, you know, idea as to what you can achieve within a certain time scale, you see, the danger is if we don't set ourselves goals, we just trundle along, and I sometimes think we don't accomplish things quite as quickly. Try it out for yourself. See what you think. You could prove me wrong. But I personally think that if you say, right, what I want to achieve this month is this, this, and this. You make your recordings and things like that as part of this plan, and then you review it at the end of the month and see how many of those targets you've reached. Okay, so that's just something that I think is helpful. Okay, so you might find it helpful as well. What are we all saying out there? Everybody loves Pat. Could we please have a Neil Young, please? Then I will shut up. Do you know what? There's no pleasing you, is there? There really isn't any pleasing you. I've already, I play a song for you. I suppose you'll be wanting this next. I haven't even played it since the last show. There's no way I can be playing this. There's no way I can be playing this. So don't be looking at this like I'm going to play it. I'm just putting it there for show. It's been a very busy week because of the gig coming up. I hadn't actually rehearsed a whole lot with Al, so it was kind of a difficult one. Let me see what I've got here. Oh, do you know what? That's a real pain. I don't even think do you know what, Pat? You really do throw the cat among the pigeons. All right. You're going to have to sit and watch me do this a few times, all right? Because I'm not going anywhere in a hurry. So you're going to have to be patient. You've got Pat to thank for this. She's always requesting songs and giving me a difficult time, but I love her like crazy. She's special, a very special lady. And I can see why you all kind of like her so much. She's lovely. But just bear with me, folks, because as I say, I wasn't really geared up for this. And it is one of those songs, oddly enough, I need to have some kind of... This has that. You've got to get these things just right, as you can see. Been faffing around for long enough. So the thing with these is you've got to get them in the right place, because once you've started, that's it. That's your lot. You like it or lump it. All right, so this one goes like this. That's awful, isn't it? Hold on, let's try that again. This is the beauty of the Joe Show, you see. You can be totally relaxed. We all make mistakes. It's amazing how quick you can forget something. This is it. You're going to get... If this turns out to be the Les Dawson of the harmonica, let's all have a great big giggle about it, all right? There we go. 2, 3, 4. Singing, I've been in my mind. It's such a fine line. Keeps me searching for a heart gold. And I'm getting old. Keep me searching for a heart gold. And I'm getting old. I've been a miner for a heart gold. I've been in my mind. searching and getting old. Keep me searching for a heart of gold. Been a miner for a heart of gold. Well, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't the kind of knockout that I'd expected it to be, but it was something. There you go, Pat. I hope that keeps you happy. A little bit of Neil Young for you. I'm always trying to oblige wherever I can. You're very, very welcome. That's the least I can do for you. Oh, right. You're on to the next song already, are we? God blimey, you really do take the biscuit. Okay, right, folks. I just don't want to stop when I start this Joe show. It's just wonderful to know we're all kind of, here together. I just want the show to go on and on and on. Maybe we need to look to extend the show, but maybe you've had enough of me after an hour. I don't know. Right, it's time for the play along. San Francisco Bay Blues. All get yourselves ready. Get your guitars ready. And we're going to go for this, okay? Right, and I'll do you some Johnny Cash next week, all right? Or whenever we get back with the next Joe show. I'll try and do you, We'll do a little bit of Johnny Cash, yeah, or whatever it might be. We all ready? What's up, Ali? Great to see you, Ali Hassan. I haven't seen you before. Daryl Voss, great to see you. Yeah, okay. You tell me when you're all ready, folks. I'm waiting on you. I'm waiting on you to get grooving on a little bit of San Francisco Bay Blues. Oh, William, I'm really glad you enjoyed your first Joe show, and I hope it's not your last one. I hope you're going to be coming back to join us. Be wonderful to have you. Okay, Jeff's ready. Don't forget the question about the electric guitar lessons, Joe. Thanks, Andy. I'll come back to that. Julie's ready, Gary's ready, Endless is ready, Leo's ready, Patricia's ready, Jeff's ready, Terry's ready, Yap's ready. Come on, a few more of you. I want some more on the play along. Where are you, Katie and Endless, William, John? Go, 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 go. All right, David's ready as well. I'm going to give you time. Paul's ready, Andrew's ready, Jonathan's ready. That's more like it. All right, here we go. A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Wonderful stuff, guys. You're coming through loud and clear. I got the blues for my baby, left me down San Francisco Bay. The ocean liner gone so far away. I didn't mean to treat her so bad. She was the best girl I ever did have. She said goodbye, I can take a cry. I wanna lay down and die. Well, I ain't got a nickel and I ain't got a lousy dime. That's a fact. If she don't come back, I think I'm gonna lose my mind. If she ever gets back to stay, it's gonna be another brand new day. Walking with my baby down San Francisco Bay. Ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da-da. For all those of you who don't play, ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da-ba. You can do a little bit of that. Ba-ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da, ba-ba-da-da-ba-ba-da. Sitting down looking from my back door, wondering which way to go. The woman I'm so crazy about, she don't love me no more. Think I'll catch me a freight train, 'cause I'm feeling blue. Ride all the way to the end of the line, thinking only of you. about to go insane. I thought I heard my baby love, the way she used to call my name. If she ever gets back to stay, it's gonna be another brand new day. Walking with my baby down San Francisco Bay. Every day walking with my baby down San Francisco Bay. Walking with my baby down San Francisco Bay. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-bum. Absolutely fantastic, folks. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, so we've got comedians as well tonight with the old Sussex boy who's joined us, Woodjack. Hello there. All right, I'd have to say, folks, you've done absolutely brilliantly tonight. You've excelled yourselves. And I think what we need to do in the future, it's just an idea, is we need to step it up a little bit and kind of, you know, maybe challenge ourselves a little bit more with some of these play-alongs. I know that there were a lot of you out there who wanted to hear a little bit of the old, you know, a little bit of the Layla. Leo and the crowd would like to have done something like Layla, and it would be nice to do something along those lines. Okay, so just to go back to Andy's question, or Andrew's question, I should say, his mum's listening, about electric guitars. And why, you know, do I do electric guitar lessons and stuff like that? Well, of course, I mean, you may or may not know, but I've played electric guitar just about as long as I've played acoustic guitar. But what I find is that there's a lot more, for me to produce a video, a kind of video lesson, let's just say a 15-20 minute video, you know, it can take 4 or 5 hours. It depends on what it is. Now, once you start talking about electric stuff, then it's even more time. And I think that by and large, I mean, I know Leo and I know Jeff and I know there are a lot of people out there. There's also Andrew Marriott plays some lovely electric guitar. Paul as well. I know there are a lot of you out there that play electric and things like that, but I think it's safe to say that, you know, a lot of you also obviously play acoustic, and that's why you've signed up to the kind of things that I do and things like that. So long answer short is that it takes a lot more time. Now, that's not to say that I won't look at any electric stuff. You know, if there was a real demand for it and you all wanted to hear something, then, you know, I'd be happy to take a look at it for you. No problem. I'm always here to please. That's my aim. You know, I just want to help you get to where you want to get to. But more importantly, I want you to just enjoy that journey of guitar and everything that it can bring to you. I'm so grateful for you all for joining me for tonight's show, and I'd just like to thank each and every one of you for your support as well. For those of you who haven't checked out my Patreon site, please go check it down below. It's the one thing that really enables me to continue on with the lessons, and I'm so grateful to everybody who's already over there. I don't want to go on about that too much, but I do have to mention that. So I'd like to thank you all again, folks. I'm going to give you all a goodbye and say farewell to each and every one of you. I do that, and I can't wait until it's going to take me about 10 or 15 minutes to say goodnight to each and every one of you, because that's going to mean our audience is growing even bigger. And it seems that it's growing show on show, as it were. So that's kind of really, really good. And it wouldn't matter either way, because you're a wonderful group of people. Can I give a shout out for the blues tonight, please, Joe? Yeah, shout out for the blues. Blacksmith says, stay acoustic, acoustic, Andrew Marriott, yeah. Oh, wow, I've missed a lot of messages there as well. I keep meaning to join Patreon. I've just been skint due to Christmas and situations. Hey, look, folks, I don't want anybody leaving themselves short, you know, joining up to Patreon and things like that. You know, you got to have your priorities and things like that. But for the price of a cup of coffee per month, you can access over 300 lessons. I think that is decent value. But of course, you need to be, you know, have enough to be able to do that. Okay? So if you haven't already, and it's something that interests you and you're in a position to be able to do that, then please check out the Patreon page down below. It's been a wonderful evening, folks, and I'm really, really glad that you devoted some of your Saturday evening to sitting here with me and having a play along and everything else. Can we all get our heads together about when would make a good show for the next one? Because if we were doing it as we ordinarily do it, which is fortnightly, that'd mean the next show would fall on Christmas Day, which obviously isn't going to happen. So what do you think, folks? Share your opinions with me either below this video, over on the Facebook group page, email me, write to me over on Patreon, you know, wherever it might be. Please, you are my audience and I need to know what suits you all, okay? I could put it to the vote and things like that, but I would like our next show to include all of the people here. You know, I'd really, really like to see you. I don't want to leave it too long is the problem. So, you know, do we do something before Christmas Eve, you know, a couple of nights before? Do we do it a few nights after Christmas Day? I'm open to suggestion. I haven't got a great deal on. I'm always working very hard producing content for my patrons and YouTube people. But I'm always open to suggestions. I'm quite a flexible person and I'll always try and do my best to fit in with what works with everybody else. So give that a little bit of thought, and then you know we'll kind of touch on that over the next week. Perhaps we'll get a little bit of feedback going on that. So it's time to say hello to everybody, and I mean everybody. The least I can do. Hey John, such a shame you've just missed us. We're just finishing off now, but you can all watch the show on catch up tomorrow on my YouTube channel if you're interested in doing so. So now it's my time to say goodbye to everyone. All right, so Derek M, John J, Carl Brolin, Jeff Westgarth, Terry Cook, and thanks again for the donation, Terry, Fedexto, Julie Flower, Ali Richardson, Sussex Boy, Ray, Gordon Taylor, Paul Hilliker, Endless Nameless, Gary Curtis, Andrew Chilvers, Scott Brown. I'm still haven't finished. I just wanted to say if anybody wants to be doing me a Christmas present, sign up to Patreon. That'd be the biggest present I could have. 90% of you are already there, so I'm speaking to the ones who aren't. David Stanley, hey, James Edwards, Green Mile, Scott, great to see you, Scott. I hope you're keeping well over there in the US. Andrew Marriott, I'm looking forward to hearing another video from you, Andrew. It's been a little while since I've heard anything, and I love watching your videos. Nanite Katie, have a good one. Keep playing on the old advanced shuffle. Don't forget, you know, you can give the plectrum a go. I'm sure you could do something with it. Unless you actually have no interest whatsoever. James Day, it's wonderful to see you. And I hope that you join us next time, James. Dylan 23, great to see you, Dylan. So long, Brad. David Howard, thank you very much indeed. The gig was a great success. Thanks, David. Sing us out, Joe. Don't leave us yet. One of your own. Honestly, I don't believe it. You guys are too much. I've played so much for you tonight and you still want more. I just do not believe it. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. Let's see what I've got here. What I'll do is, John Lennon, it was the anniversary of John Lennon's death this week, as many of you will probably know. Okay? Yes, Andrew, great point there. Before, I hope Katie's still there, but Katie, Andrew's just made a great point, and I have mentioned it on a few of the previous shows, okay? Soft plectrums are where it's at for strumming, all right? If anybody's strumming with a very, very stiff plectrum, it's not going to be easy, all right? Soft plectrums. Right, here goes, folks. Julie has asked me to play you out. I'm going to do that. I've said my farewells, I think, to everybody. I hope I mentioned you too, Leo. And this is Imagine by John Lennon, and it goes like this. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. Wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing on the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Hope someday you will join us, and the world will be as one. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. Look forward to seeing you all shortly. You take care. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.